April 7th Source Message. At this point, you're doing better than you ever have before. You're not exactly where you want to be, but you're advancing in ways unseen. Your fight for inner peace, whereas in the past, you just accepted the chaos. You're reacting less from your emotions and responding more from a space of stability. You're more in tune with all the things that are going your way instead of the few that are not. You're forgiving, loving, and observing more. These upgrades are changing your life.
Humanity is moving forward beautifully and very rapidly towards the collective awakening and, as I have told you many times, this transcendent occurrence is divinely assured, and consequently the progress that you have made is utterly irreversible. There are just a few loose ends to tie up, and then you will awaken, and your joy will be boundless. As you continue to wait with enthusiastic faith in God's plan for this most wondrous event to unfold, do make sure to spend quiet time daily just being. You are all extremely powerful beings, so when you just sit holding the intent to be only loving, the effect of your individual and collective intentions is way beyond your ability to envisage. Know that your earthly presence at this time in the awakening process is essential, and that your success in achieving fulfillment of the divine tasks you each set yourselves before this incarnation is total. It is the individual presence of each one of you in form truly, all of humanity. That is the driving energy behind your awakening process. To awaken is humanity's collective and individual free will choice, as well as being your sovereign right. That choice was made almost as soon as you started engaging with the separation experience, because you immediately felt the intensely terrifying sense of abandonment that real separation, could it occur, would induce. However, your initial engagement was made with great excitement and enthusiasm, so that you moved instantly and very deeply into the illusory game or dream that you had constructed, and then you were unable to find the way out. You were lost and extremely frightened. That was your initiation into the sensation or feeling of fear, and consequent belief in fear as a state of being. Suddenly you each had egos. And, as you are well aware, in the present day egos tend to run rampant when allowed to do so. This happens very frequently because the great majority of those in human form totally identify with their bodies and their egos. This idea of having an individual and totally personal independent identity was a major aspect and intent when you constructed the illusory state in which you appear to be having a once-only experience of life. This was to be followed by your individual terminal extinction, the culmination of the game of separation that you invented and chose to engage in with your full attention to make it as real as possible. You succeeded beyond your wildest dreams. Now, it's game over. There is no possibility of re-engaging with it because it has served its purpose and is being discarded. You have chosen to return to wakefulness, to reality, and deep within yourselves there is great joy arising as you begin to feel it happening. Acknowledge and honor these feelings of joy arising within you, because you do know intuitively that they are completely valid, that you are all infinitely worthy of God's eternal love for you. Your intuition always leads you to increasing awareness of the love that each one of you is, even though your egos resist and attempt to have you believe that you are each an unworthy and insignificant being among billions. Divine guidance is available to you in every moment. All you need do is hold the intent to be conscious of it, and then allow yourselves to engage fully with it, this will at least start quieting your ego's vociferous opposition to the reality of who you are. Having never ever been separated from your source, the eternal energy field of infinite love and wisdom, you need only set and maintain the intent to once more be consciously aware of being one with it in order to return home. Many of you are experiencing the sensation or feeling of not belonging here as humans on Earth. And you do not. Life as a human on Earth is an extremely limiting and temporary state which lasts only until you allow yourselves to become aware that you are not your bodies, and that these limits are unreal. Those who have had near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences are aware of this, and have for many decades now been sharing this information widely. However, it is only very recently that this information is being accepted as a valid indication that not only are you indeed far more than your bodies, but that you truly are eternal beings, beings who will never die. Awareness that your lives as humans are but temporary experiences, and that life is eternal has become far more widespread over the last 7 or 8 decades, intensifying the collective intent to awaken into the fullness of life as one with Mother/Father/God. This awareness is as a direct result of people choosing to respond to the voice for God within themselves, the Holy Spirit, which has always been gently calling their attention to it throughout their human lives. It is a very quiet voice which is easily drowned out by the raucous and vociferous voices of your egos. What has happened is that more and more of you have become totally dissatisfied with the almost complete negativity of your ego's thought systems as you realize that it is they who are constantly leading you into conflicts, either one-on-one, or with many others, such as in wars between nations, as they enthusiastically encourage you to blame others or the world at large for any pain or suffering that you yourselves may be undergoing. Awareness that either attacking others or defending yourselves inevitably leads to further conflicts has finally become obvious and indubitable to the vast majority of humanity. In the 20th century, the 1914–18 war to end all wars was soon followed by World War II, making it clear to anyone who chose to see that in order to establish peace on Earth, people needed to cease blaming and fighting each other over their differences. Nevertheless, war has continued to be a major economic benefit to those who have the power and authority to start them, while encouraging and directing others to do the fighting. Now, all have chosen to see. The peace movements, that were established in the latter half of the last century, have made it almost impossible for anyone to continue to believe that it makes sense to engage in war with those who have different views or opinions. Awareness has grown that all have the right to follow their own belief systems as long as they do not attempt to force others to agree with them. You are all one with Mother/Father/God, and, at the same time, you are each differentiated and individuated beings free to engage in your own creative and inspiring endeavors. As an analogy, you can think of the individuals playing their individual musical instruments in a vast orchestra, and together creating a most beautiful musical harmony of sounds to delight their ears and emotions, and also those of the audience who are listening to them, enraptured. Harmonious cooperation with one another is your natural state of being, as love fills your hearts and guides your every thought, word, or action. While many of you would agree that this must be so, it is extremely difficult for you to follow that divine guidance in every moment when your egos are longing for conflicts in which to engage so that they can then prove themselves to be right. This is why, as you all most definitely and clearly understand, it is so essential for you to spend time daily at peace in your holy inner sanctuaries. When there, relaxed and undisturbed even if only for a brief moment, make a point of inviting love to fill your own hearts and the hearts of every human. Doing just this is your purpose for being in human form at this precise moment. Totally trust your intuition, which is constantly reminding you of this, and let it guide you throughout the day. When you do, as many of you have already discovered, your day will flow far more smoothly and lovingly, and you will find yourselves having moments of joy simply because you are alive. Your loving brother, Jesus. Beloved ones, as you learn to tap into the cosmic records in the higher realms, you are beginning to broaden your awareness of your cosmic lineage. The process of reunification is well underway, and therefore, many faithful servers of the light are now striving to reclaim the many facets of their divinity. A part of our mission is to help you remember your divine heritage, and to also help you understand the unprecedented process humanity is in the midst of at this time. Many of you, the starseed and Weishauers, came into this lifetime with the vibrational frequencies of the rays, within your diamond core God cell, more active than those still functioning within the third/lower fourth dimensional realms. Therefore, you have experienced more bursts of God-conscious awareness over the recent past years. If you will compare notes about your earlier experiences with others on the path, you will find that you have had many similar experiences throughout your lifetime. You are now aware that many of the miracles, inspired thoughts, and beneficial coincidences are not common for the average person who still exists and functions within the distorted realms of the mass consciousness belief structure. What you are now undergoing, brave hearts, is the transition of the final stages of the fourth dimensional realm. What is occurring at this time for many of you who are on the fast track of the ascension process, is that you are in the midst of integrating the remaining facets of your higher self within the fourth dimension. This activates many memories and feelings, like a kaleidoscope of experiences from your ancient past within the higher realms. Over the past several years, we have been relaying to you the critical process you must go through in order to arrive at your programmed destination, the first subplane of the fifth dimension. As you integrate the more refined fragments of your higher self, you will gain access to the cosmic records of your past, along with the wisdom necessary to traverse the final levels of the fourth dimensional material planes. You are beginning to get a glimpse of how truly magnificent you are in the higher realms. You are also slowly magnetizing into your auric field the refined frequencies of the 5 higher galactic rays, which contain the divine blueprint for the Aquarian Age. In addition, you are gradually beginning to integrate your own new divine blueprint, via the Kundalini memory seed atom, which has been stored within your root chakra throughout your many human lifetimes. We have stressed this fact many times over. Your present lifetime is one of the most important lives you will ever experience since assuming the physical vessel. You chose the date of your birth because the particular astrological configurations and energies they contained and projected energies and qualities that focused on the strengths and talents you were to experience. Also emphasized were the negative thought forms/energies, those which were the most imbalanced within your 4 lower bodily systems: physical, emotional, mental, and etheric, the lower frequency thought forms which were keeping you imprisoned within the shadowlands of illusion and limitation. You chose your parents, your family, and those you would interact with during this lifetime for the same reason those who would project or mirror to you the positive attributes you needed to integrate, and also many negative traits you need to overcome. All of the dear souls in your life are a part of the great drama you have chosen to experience in this lifetime. Each one agreed to play a role which would, hopefully, be mutually beneficial. Ask yourself what positive traits your parents, your family, your mate, and children have projected to you. Then think about the negative traits they have displayed. Therein are the lessons you set up for yourself to experience, and hopefully, to benefit from at a soul level. Have you learned your lessons well? Are you displaying more of the positive traits or more of the negative traits that others mirror to you? Consider the tests and challenges as an opportunity to, once and for all, transmute all of the imbalances which are keeping you from stepping through the gateway into your new 5th-dimensional reality. You and your family members chose to come together as a family unit because you knew it would give you the greatest opportunity to balance your mental and emotional natures. We sense that the most important lesson for many of you is to know that you are worthy of love and respect, and that it is time to begin to take back your power. The people in your life will not respect you until you learn to set boundaries and to meet your own needs before you try to assist them. You are not responsible for anyone's soul growth but your own. As you learn to set boundaries and take back your power, you will find your relationship with those around you will gradually begin to change for the better. Also, you cannot take on anyone's lessons or the responsibility for their mistakes. They must learn the rules of cause and effect for themselves. The greatest gift you can give others is to love them enough to allow them to work through their own problems and mistakes. My brave ones, you are here to teach love, unconditional love, by first loving yourself unconditionally. There are many of your soul mates incarnated on Earth at this time, both male and female. More soul families are being reunited as you move deeper into the more refined realms of light. The best way to help those in your family, your friends, or work associates is to be a shining example. You are also here to learn detachment, that you cannot truly own anyone or anything. The beauty, abundance, and bounty of the universe are your divine birthright, but these gifts are on loan to you. You must hold them lightly in your hands, and allow them to flow freely out into the world. Take what you need, and then share the remainder. Do not hoard. When humanity comes to this reality, all poverty and scarcity will disappear from the earth. The primary emphasis at this time is on returning to wholeness within yourself and taking personal responsibility for your actions, building self-esteem, and developing a sense of worthiness via your solar heart center in cooperation with your soul self and higher self. Truth and integrity will be the foundation of any relationship of the future. First, you must accept who you are at the present time, as you strive to become the very best person you can possibly be, through self-examination of your attitudes, beliefs, habits, and your weaknesses. In the near future, the Weishauers and Vanguard souls, those who are bringing forth the higher wisdom of the new divine blueprint, will prove that diseases of any kind do not have to manifest as the body ages. The human physical vessel was meant to function at optimum health for at least 120 years. Humanity at large is caught up in the mass consciousness belief system of the third/fourth dimensions, whereby the core issues from the past, and the imperfections within the ancestral DNA allow these stressful, debilitating symptoms to manifest if the entity allows itself to feel unloved, unworthy, or feels guilt, shame or resentments of any form. As the soul is allowed to become the guide and director of the physical personality instead of the ego desire body consciousness, all of the negative energies, which are a result of deep core memories from the ancient past, will rise to the surface so that each person can release them once and for all. This will be through the conscious use of the violet transmuting flame, and by heeding the inspired thought forms gleaned from your sacred mind, and your cosmic guides, as well as the many higher frequency healing modalities now available to you. As you move deeper into self-awareness and begin to listen to the wisdom of the physical body, your body memory seed atom, you will no longer depend so much on external methods, drugs, surgery, and artificial means of healing. The drastic physical imbalances and ill health the majority of human beings is now experiencing will gradually be replaced with healthy, harmonious living practices, which will be guided by the new spiritual, intuitive wisdom that you have stored within your sacred mind. No longer can humanity rely only on the current practices of the medical profession. Your soul is nudging you to integrate a more holistic approach to healing the physical, mental, emotional bodies so that the higher frequencies of the Oversoul can be integrated without so much trauma and distress to the physical vessel. As we have stated many times, light, sound and color are the healing modalities of the future. A study of the chakra system, and of the frequencies of the 5 higher galactic rays will assist healers and counselors in how to inform their patients as to what is out of balance within their auric field, and how to assist them to gradually return to and maintain a healthy physical body. Our teachings give you all the guidelines you will need to integrate these additional methods of healing into your current health regimen. You also have a wondrous storehouse of information available to you within your sacred mind. As your radiance expands and grows more powerful and far-reaching, you, along with other light workers, will become a unified force that will not be denied, a force for transformation and change of the highest order. Be bold in your vision. See what is right in your world, thereby reinforcing the love/light that dwells within each and every person you meet. Do not focus on the shadows, for your thought patterns will always connect with and reinforce the dimensional frequencies on which you focus your attention. Your only true enemy is fear. Release the fear and radiate love/light, and then watch as the miracles unfold. You are a master of manifestation, you have just forgotten. Believe in yourself and cease creating those things that bring you pain, guilt and suffering. Become a co-creator of the light, peace, balance, and harmony once more, and join with those who are striving to recapture the pristine beauty of planet Earth. Reclaim your rightful place as a master of light, dear ones, and remember, as you integrate the knowledge of spirit and illumined truth, we ask you to go forth and share your wisdom. We are ever near to guide, protect, and inspire you, but mostly to love you. I am Archangel Michael.
Beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself. Divine Life Arising is the title and the topic of our evening. Everything that I learned from the discourses from Archangel Michael over the many years that I've been practicing the presence was summed up in that video. But we have reached that point now. We have reached the point where we really have to decide what is more important to me right now. Is it my life, my mundane life, to be famous, rich? What is it that you desire most? If you desire to rise out of 3 and 4D, and like Michael said, 4D is where we are right now, if we're listening to such material. If that's your desire, then you need to make it known to the universe so that the support will be given to you. Because divine, magnificent law, the universal laws, are what we have to follow, and so do they. These great ones want to help all of us at all times, in every way. They're all around you. They're all around you. And at your diamond core, which not to be confused with anything else, it's, to me, that's my sacred heart. So I don't worry about exactly where it's located in my body, because those details don't matter. What matters is that we choose to live in that sacred heart and that sacred mind of ours. You will become the holiness by desiring it. Your desires is what moves you in the right direction. Desire, not begging, not knowing, not demanding, but desiring it. And as you desire it with all your heart and soul, the universe hears you and responds to you. Keep it simple. Reach for your divine self. You don't need fancy words. You don't need long, drawn-out prayers. Just tell God from your heart how grateful you are for your life, how blessed you feel, appreciating the abundance, the light, the love, the assistance, the beauty, our food, our homes. Be grateful. More people don't have what you have than do around the world. We are very, very blessed. Make your decisions now. Tell the universe what you've decided and let the magic happen. Let it happen. Get out of the way. You can't make it happen. That's the big mistake that people make. They think if they practice or they go to certain teachers or they go to certain practices that they're going to become who they really are. It's so simple. When you hear yourself acting in a way that is not what you want to be like, don't do it. Pour violet fire over it. Grab it back. Don't let it go out of your fields. be humbled by it and change your mind and say what you really want to say. Once you're working out of your divine mind and sacred heart, it will happen automatically. You'll try to say something else and it won't come out. You've turned yourself over to the Christ in you. How do I know if I'm getting somewhere? Listen to yourself. Watch how you respond to things rather than react. Look around you and see how people are drawn to you. Feel how you feel when you're just by yourself. Can you be by yourself? Are you comfortable in your own skin? This is how we know where we're getting someplace. So stop trying, stop pushing, and just become. Desire to become. Every day make that prayer to God. Show me the way, guide me, help me. And then go out there and be you. Not the version that other people want you to be. Be genuinely you. Be willing to show your humor, your gentleness, your kindness, your concern, your love. Be beautiful in your actions and your words. Feel good about the people that God brings to you. Let go of the fear that something might happen. You don't want to bring anything to you that wasn't necessary. We're creating our life every day, every moment of every day. So what you put out there is going to come back home to mama. What they were saying in the video was that we look to blame the matrix, the programming, the people, the everybody, including God, when we have trials and tribulations in our life. None of the above is true. It always is what we believe that's manifesting in our world. So whatever you see happening that is not your delight, change your mind. If it's something that keeps happening over and over again, like in my situation, where finally I said, what is going on? I was in a loop after loop after loop, and I finally got it. I got to stop doing what I'm doing. Mix it up. If I would open my mouth and start talking and it wasn't working out, maybe I should be quiet. Maybe I should listen for a change. I might learn something. And I learned to do that. It's so important for you to make the judgment calls on what you feel is right for you, is what you want to be in other people's eyes and in your own. You have to approve of yourself first. And once you do, everybody around you will approve of you. We're our worst critics. We can be our worst enemies. We can drive ourselves pretty crazy. We can cause depression, anxiety, fear. Don't choose to live like that anymore. That's part of the 3-4D drama. Unload those belief systems, because now is the time. It's arising, your divinity, your divine life. Make it happen only in your desire. and watch how the magic occurs. You will draw the perfect situations and the perfect people, exactly what you need every moment, and say thank you. Thank you. I know that that was for me. I know that that was a reflection of me. Even if I'm not doing what they did to me, there I am. And that's when we get to work. We learn, some of us the hard way, I'm included. Some of us are very willing to surrender. It's not giving up, it's surrendering to the truth, to the divine, to the blessed, to the sacredness. That's who we surrender to, not to the whims of the world and other people. Who am I? I am the light of God, and so are you. The glory of God lives within each one of us. We can bring that out into the world and become a blessing to ourselves and others. Are you willing? No matter how people respond or react to you, are you willing to be the light in the world? It doesn't take a word. It's just you being who you are. And once you know in your heart who you are, you can't help but express it through your energy field. You'll look into someone's eyes and they'll melt at the beauty of your soul that they see. They'll see your fields and not realize why they're so attracted to you. They're seeing the light, the radiance, the glory of God right here where we stand. Now is the time to make the choices through your desires to become who you truly, truly are. A divine, magnificent being of light, limitless, powerful in love. Do you want it? Do you feel it? Excited to even think about it? Well, that's who you are. Now all we have to do is believe that and choose to desire that to be the only way that we express. You're not subject to the limitations of 3 and 4D, I assure you. You are all 5D and higher beings. Let's desire it together. It's so powerful when a group gets together and they're all on the same page. It's the most beautiful experience to be able to talk freely about the beauty, about the truth, about the light, about God. So the holiness in you is who you really are. And the message that I got from that video, the last one, don't limit yourself or believe that I'm the body and that's all I've got. And when it's breaking down, that's all I've got. No, it's not true. You don't dwell on it. You work around it. You work through it. You find out what you have inside you and you cleanse it. so that you will see the results on the outer part of your body. Some things have solidified very, very strongly, and those are harder to get rid of, but you can still manage them and live a beautiful, long life. Imagine the average life was once 120 years of powerful living. That's a long time. But there was a time when people lived a lot longer than that. It wasn't a clerical mistake in the Bible. It was really true. But you are not subject, as I said, to the limitations of 3 and 4D, and you can move beyond that. You are the miracle yet to be expressed. You are the power of love in action. You are the light that mends all things. You are the beauty that everyone seeks within themselves. Never be afraid to be that light. Don't flaunt it. Don't push it on anyone. Leave everyone alone. Just like Archangel Michael said, let them go through their life experience. Let them feel what they need to feel and heal what they need to heal. We can only save ourselves. It's enough, believe me. It's a lifelong journey. So you see, all of us had a very important part to play in every lifetime that we came into bodies. It's been a long haul. We've learned from it. We've suffered from our own hand. We were caught in the mire, but we woke up. We're the lucky ones. We woke up, came out of the dream, and started really living consciously, aware of our life, our failures, our gifts, our talents. Everything about ourselves is right there in front of us. Forgive yourself for anything that you feel you've done. Be willing to be humble and grateful for everything. Try to forgive yourself so that you can forgive others. People say, I will forgive them, but I'll never forget. Well, that's true. You will remember the situation. However, the pain and suffering of it, once you purge that from yourself, you will no longer look at it in the same light. You can look at it without the emotional tug or the emotional agony. You can just look at it and know how painful another person's life is, that they would lash out at others. See the suffering in them, because you know what suffering feels like. You've suffered yourself. The compassion will be forefront in your life. And you'll start to realize when people are nasty and yelling and carrying on, it's just that they're in agony and they can't hold it in anymore. If only they would know how to release it, they would be free. They will be unleashed from the torture that they hold inside them. You can make believe that you didn't have bad things happen, but they did. And they left their scars and they left the emotions behind in you. If you're willing to face yourself, every part of it, whatever comes up, you'll be free. You won't deny it anymore. You won't make believe you're okay. Suffering is real. And you can release that from you. The memories will be there and you'll just bless them. realizing they had to happen for whatever reason. Was it karmic? Was it because I needed to learn something that I never learned before? Whatever it is for you, nobody needs to tell you. You'll figure it out yourself. We have every opportunity to be everything we've ever wished for, to create whatever it is that you hold in your heart as beautiful and loving, that you can do with others, for yourself. Always remember, if you're doing it just for others and not for yourself as well, then something is off, and you really need to look at that. Be strong in your conviction, in what you hold dear. Don't ever let anyone take that from you, or steal it from you, or tell you that it isn't right for you. Know who you are, and then nobody will even try to do that to you. Nobody will want to do anything but love you, honor you, and respect you. But first, you've got to do this inside yourself. There's nothing that you can't create, good and bad. So watch what you wish for. Watch what you hope for. Watch what you think. Pay attention to how you feel, and make everything right inside you, so that energy will exude from you and touch others. What a blessing you will be to anyone that enters your fields, to anyone that asks you a question and you answer them, for you will speak from your heart. People will come to you only to learn what you've already experienced. And once in a while, someone will come with questions about something that you don't remember the experience in this lifetime, and be wise enough to not try to tell them what to do. You can only speak about things you've experienced in a conscious way in this lifetime, so that you can help them by how you managed yourself through it. We're all teachers and we're all students. Everybody vibrating at a different frequency, but harmonizing in our love for one another. For you will know my children, Jesus said, by the love they have for one another. And that's what we have here. We are all on the same page. We all want the same thing. We all live as best we can. Continue in that way. Make this your life's work, and everything else will fall into place so beautifully, with such harmony and balance. Be at peace. Strive only to be divine. Everything else comes along. You'll be a magnet for beauty and perfection and blessings. You'll be a magnet for good. Just be you. It's so important. Do you know who you are? Do you feel who you are? Do you love who you are? Ask those questions. See what happens. Do you get nervous? Do you feel at peace? Do you wonder? Keep asking. Your higher self will help you. All the answers are inside you, you know. You're only remembering what you've already known and learned. Plato said so. I know he really was onto something. There's nothing new in the universe, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing new to you. Been there, done it. You ever hear that saying? Keep repeating until we get it right. That's why we came back all these times. And now we're ready to graduate. Make it your deepest desire. And once the universe knows that you're really on it, that you really mean it, that you really want it, it will happen in its time, in its beauty. It'll bring up things from the past that you haven't mastered yet. Oh, yeah. You don't just get your wings and fly away. Everything's got to be cleaned up that's standing in the way of that. And that's the freedom you give yourself.